What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for November 8th, 2022. Before we get started, it is election day. Go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, what beliefs you are, whether you're kooky, not kooky, whatever. Go out, vote. There's no question about it. Like, I don't want to hear this, oh, I don't vote. I don't. No, go out and vote. And I'm not going to sit here and give you any endorsements or who you should vote for because guess what? My thoughts and opinions should have zero impact on who you vote for because I vote for what's best for me as well as my family. And if I tell you who to vote for anyway, I'm going to find a way to piss everybody off because my beliefs financially, politically, socially are all over the map that guarantee I will find a way to piss off every single one of you if I give you who I'm voting for. So go out, vote. It's your civic duty as an American. Yeah, things are crazy right now in our country, but go vote. All right, now that I'm off my soapbox, let's get into some housekeeping things. First of all, new Back to the Future pod dropped last night. We did a little Phillies World Series recap as well as a college basketball preview, both locally and nationally. And I gave a proposal that I think might just work because they've been talking about expanding the NCAA tournament. So something to think about. Quick update on my Upper Dublin Cardinals. They will be playing the Great Valley Patriots this Friday night at Fort Washington. I think it's called Cardinal Stadium. I'm still getting used to the sports teams here, but looking to move to 12-0 and advance in the District 1 playoffs. Sixers, I really don't know what to make of this team. Great win last night. Great defensive effort. They played a physical game against the Suns, who are one of the top teams in the Western Conference. JoJo just was JoJo, MVP. So I don't know what to make of that team. They're 11 games in now, and I don't know. Like, if they play like they did last night, they can be a legitimate contender. The problem is, can they do that consistently, especially with James Harden out for another couple weeks? Who knows? But Sixers win. I don't know. And what a pathetic performance. Speaking of college basketball, by my Temple Owls, losing to Wagner in overtime. Nothing I can say. Unacceptable, inexcusable. Like, you're a 15.5 point favorite and you're losing in overtime. Not a good start, and may have to revisit and revamp and basically redo my whole Temple basketball preview because if they're going to play like that, whatever I said last night on the podcast is 100% wrong. So not sure what's going on there, but something to keep an eye on because they have a tough next few games coming up. They play Villanova in the next couple days, and then they go up and play in a couple of the preseason tournaments. So they could come out 0-4, 0-5 if they play like how they did last night. So we shall see. But this day in Philly sports history, we're going to stay on the college football train, and we're going to go back to 1986. So November 8th, 1986, Boston College came into the Vet to play the Temple Owls. The BC won 38-29. This was significant, though, because it was Paul Palmer's final home game as a Temple Owl. For those of you who maybe don't know, he's probably the greatest Temple football player ever. He's actually their color commentator now on the radio. He does an awesome job. He's a college football Hall of Famer, one of the best all-time to do it. But on this day, in his final home game, he ran 38 times for 212 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, added 11 receiving yards, and even threw a 33-yard touchdown pass. So he was kind of Mr. Do-It-All. After this game, though, he set the record for, and I don't even know, I should have probably looked it up to see if it's still there, but over a 4-game stretch, he had the most yards with 987 yards of anybody. The previous record, I think, was in 83 by Mike Rozier. He moved 9th place all-time nationally in all-time rushing yards. set the Temple touchdown record, which I don't know. I should have looked at this, and I apologize. I guess I kind of slacked on the research on this. Bernard Pierce may have broken the touchdown record in that '09 season. I'm not sure. I'm going to look that up and let you know tomorrow. And I do apologize for that. But I'll jot a note down to do that, because if this was a longer podcast, I probably would have just looked it up right now. But the defense, however, in that game gave up 500 yards. So there you go. That's why your Heisman hopeful running back goes all out and your defense gives up 500 yards. Head coach of that team, going a little deeper into this, was one Bruce Arians, a very young Bruce Arians, who actually had hair and didn't have that grizzled old look. You might know him. He won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady during the COVID year. Paul Palmer would go on to finish second in the Heisman Trophy that year to Vinny Testaverde. He had 1,866 yards, those 15 touchdowns. The Owls did finish 6-5. They were independent, I believe, still in 1986, so they weren't in the Big East yet. And they played some tough games. I think the following week after Boston College, they played Alabama, which, I mean, Alabama is not, well, back then they weren't necessarily what they are today, but that's still a tough game for kind of like that mid-level school. They did finish, like I said, 6-5, which would make them bowl eligible today because everybody gets a bowl game. But this day, Philly sports history, I'm stuck in October for some reason. November 8th, 1986, Temple lost to Boston College 38-29, but Paul Palmer ended his home career as an Owl in great fashion, throwing for a touchdown, scoring 2, running for over 212 yards. I think he even had a couple long kickoff returns too. So he did it all that year, finished second in the Heisman. Played for a couple teams in the NFL. I believe he played over in the original World League for a year or two as well. But became a college football Hall of Famer, now works as the color commentator for the Owls radio network. All-around good guy. Met him a couple times at some random tailgates over the years. Very, very nice guy. Very well-grounded. I mean, you could totally, if you're the best player in school history, could totally be a jerk, but not. Awesome, very nice guy. So shout out to Paul Pierce. Go out and vote. Again, I don't care who you vote for. Just vote. And don't ask me who I'm voting for because you don't want to know. And not because it's bad, because I'm going to piss you off one way or the other. So go vote. Have yourselves a Tuesday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.